Hi, everybody, and welcome to Proline, the longest-running sports handicapping show in America. It is the final week of the NFL preseason taking place tonight, as everybody plays on the same day, and two teams won't play at all because of that horrible hurricane. College football kind of kicked off last weekend with a little bit of an appetizer, but now we've got games all weekend long on the college side, so it's pretty good. I'm Dave Cokin. Jim Feist is here. And, Jim, it's been, look, a great run for you. 54-36 in the baseball inner circles. Another play going tonight, plus an NFL three-pack and your AL East total of the month.
Dave, it's been a great run in the inner circles. Another play going tonight, along with the NFL three-pack and an AL East total of the month. My inner circles have been great. Some other plays, other formulas that I have, not so good, but the inner circles have been red hot. You do not want to miss another one going tonight, along with the three-pack in football in the AL East total of the month. I also have plays available for Saturday, including a college football shocker of the month, $25 at jimfeist.com. But you can get it for 50% off by checking out with the code, just punch in the code, Jim50, and you get a 50% off.
I'm going real well right now, and anybody who's watched me over the years knows that I don't BS around with this stuff. I don't hype things unnecessarily. Kind of low-key, soft sell, if you will. But, there's times when you just got to say what you're doing and not feel sheepish about it. I'm on a big run right now. Baseball's been pretty good lately. Football has been phenomenal. I lost one game last week, and I had Rice, and wow, that was a bad read. But I was 5-0 in the NFL last week, and it was actually 6-0 because I send my plays out pretty early, and last week I sent out the Patriots -1. Well, look, no matter how good my opinion is, if you give me a -1, and then I can take back 3.5 on the other side, especially in the NFL, I'm going to do it every time. I mean, you just can't pass up stuff like that. So we came back with a portion of a buyback on the Patriots -1 with the Lions plus 3.5, and it landed on 2. So we had both of those. That actually made it a 6-0 NFL preseason week last week. The Canadian football, and don't turn your nose up because you're passing up free money if you're not playing the CFL. That league has been nothing short of a cinch this year. I'm having a phenomenal. I've had good records in the CFL over the years anyway, because I follow it closely. But this year's been just absolutely awesome. Another real easy winner last week with the one game I played, and I played one game this week, and that looks real strong. I've got 2 NFL games at the website for tonight. That's a 2-pack for $25 at jimfeist.com. But if you use the promo code Dave50, then you get both plays for $12.50, which you're not going to do too much better than that. So take advantage of it and call in and find out about getting all my football stuff this season. Again, off to a phenomenal start. And when you start off ahead, look, there's something to be said for momentum, and we've got it right now, no question about that. All right, so let's look at some information here. And we'll talk about first, I want to mention this kind of off our script that we were going to follow here, Jim. We got weather issues impacting one of the college games tonight, and therefore impacting the line. That's on the UL Monroe-Memphis game.
Yeah, this has been a pretty big move. What I'm reading, it's like when you listen to handicappers, and they're not always right, and neither are the weathermen. But there's a big storm approaching, and this is all part of what's been going on in Texas as well. But it's moving across the country. In Memphis, the line has gone from 27 down to 24.5 or 25, but the total has dropped from 67 down to 62.5 to 63. And what I'm reading is 45-mile-an-hour winds, which plays havoc, of course, with the ball if you're starting to throw it around, and the rain, very hard rain. So I think the line move based on that weather information is valid. I don't know if they get the 40 points. I don't know if they get the 100 points, but the information is definitely valid. And if you have a bet on over 67, you better find a way to get off of it because it's not a good number.
Now, when we'll talk a little handicapping or as how that applies to the handicapping. The line's already been adjusted, and I haven't. It's probably a combination of moving on air because of the information and getting some bets. But on a total that was 67 and a half, and has now been adjusted down to 63, 64, that neighborhood. Would you still play it if you had not made an investment previously? Or has too much value been lost?
Well, the question, I don't know that any value has been lost, Dave, because the conditions when they make the line was a dry field, no wind, no rain.
Right.
So now, if they were making the line now, and they had not made a previous line, so they would have nothing to worry about from adjustments or playbacks or middles or anything like that, they might make the line 54.
Yeah.
So this is a whole different game. It's a whole different ball game, and you can't look and say, "Oh, it was 67, now it's 62." It's not. It's not the same game. It's another game. They're playing on a different field, which is now wet, and a different environment, which has got a 45-mile-an-hour wind. If all those things are accurate, I throw out what it was. Now, if I made a bet over 67, and right now it's at 63 or 62, it's a different game. I forget about the other bet. I can't do anything about it. But it's hard to bet this stuff if you don't have somebody at the ballpark. I happen to have someone very close to, I know a lot of people in Memphis, someone very close to it, and that's where I got the report from. So at the present time, of course, this game doesn't go off till later, and weather has a way of changing, So it doesn't go off till 6 p.m. our time, which is Pacific time. So a lot of things can change between now and then. The wind can stop, the rain can stop, the field will still probably be wet, but it's a situation that I would wait to game time and see what it looks like for the next couple of hours from that point on before I did anything.
Let's talk some NFL injuries. Obviously, Edelman is a huge injury for the Patriots, but they do have, it's a next man up situation for New England, and nobody seems to do it better than them. Bills have a quarterback issue with Tyron Taylor hurt. Ravens and Flacco. Colts and Luck, although I guess the speculation is he's going to be ready for week 1, but we'll see. Cam Newton has played very little, responding from shoulder surgery in the offseason. These are things you got to look at going in, no question about that, because they can have an impact. I made some plays based simply on these injuries and what I think the lines will do. And I'll give you a good example of one, and you can't get this now. But I took the Rams +3. I don't think the Rams are any good. I don't think their quarterback can play a lick. But +3 was a line made with the Indianapolis side having Luck on the field. If he can't play, +3 on the Rams is a huge bargain. If he does play, I can always get out of it. No problem there. These are things you got to be aware of going in because you can get line value early on that you won't be able to get later on. I don't think there's any way Indianapolis is going to be -3 in that game when it kicks off next week. So to me, I've already got value and a potential, once again, of setting up a middle. That's why I like to play games early. Nothing better than having big middles involving key numbers in the NFL. I don't think there's a better bet out there.
Well, there's no question, and I've gotten different reports on Goff, and some people are saying he actually looks halfway decent this year. I do know this. They have vastly improved their coaching staff.
Oh, yeah.
I think Jeff Fisher was way overrated. He went 8 or 9 years without a winning record in the NFL, and that's impossible. It's not impossible to lose, but it's impossible to keep your job for so long if you're not winning. They change coaches. They change as fast as they change their socks. So how he kept the job that long, I don't know. But so the Rams, I think, are going to show quite a bit of improvement. That doesn't mean it's going to show up in the win column, but it might show up in the cover column, which is what you and I do. So, no, the Colts don't look like a winning football team this year. Andrew Luck could come back and take one shot and be out again.
Yeah.
And the same thing with, you mentioned Cam Newton. What bothers me about Cam Newton is, okay, he's a physical specimen. He's about 6'5", 6'6". He's very physical, strong man, very athletic. But, you know, he's never been the most accurate passer. Now, if you're going to get hit a lot, and the way he plays, he runs. His legs are part of his weaponry. You're going to get hit a lot. Those guys that are hitting you are pretty strong, they're pretty big, and they're pretty fast. Now, you're going to take a shoulder shot, legs go out. You know, I don't see a long career for this guy if he's going to play that way. You got to be a pocket passer in this league if you're going to survive. So I'm not really high on Cam making it for a long period of time unless he changes his style, and it's hard to change your style. Now, talk about Edelman. Edelman is Tom Brady's favorite receiver, has been for a long, long time. When he's in the game, they average about 6 points, 7 points more than when he's been out, because he has been out before. So there is some statistics to back that up. They have a lot of weapons, and they play in a division with a lot of garbage. The Jets are terrible. Buffalo looks like they're really waiting for a draft choice or something by the way they're getting rid of everybody.
Oh, look, there's only Miami's pretty good. I think Miami's better than people think. But boy, the Bills and Jets, yikes.
Yeah. Well, they should get. New England's going to get 4 wins between Buffalo and the Jets. Period. And they're very likely to beat Miami twice. Also, that's 6 wins. So I mean, but that's been going on for a long time. I mean, they've won this division. I don't know how many years out of the last 15, but it's a lot. And so you put them in, you know, they win their division, they go to the playoffs, et cetera, et cetera. So Edelman's loss will definitely lower the power rating in my book for the Pats, because even though you can replace them here and there and maybe have to spread the field a little bit because they do have that kind of weaponry too, this is a controlled wide receiver that Brady absolutely loves. They know each other well, and that's a loss. But it's only going to be a loss not necessarily in their division against the wins and losses, but the point spread, yes, it can definitely matter, and that's where we make our living.
You bet. Let's look at a game tonight, Seahawks and Raiders, and you know, I don't think you're going to see Oakland have any starters in the field. It'd be kind of, look, they're not stupid, and I don't think they're going to take any chances with Derek Carr here. So I would assume the first team, if they play at all, it might be one series and that's it. Now, Seattle, Pete Carroll tries to win them all, Jim.
I know.
He has been fantastic in week 4 of the preseason. We have some quotes from Carroll. He says this will be a game of a lot of opportunity for guys to play. This is a really exciting game. He's talking about a preseason game here. This is a really exciting game. I can't wait to get out there and see these guys go and see what they can show us and all that. And he's mentioned that C.J. Proceeds is back. Thomas Rawls, both back in practice this week, so they might get some time. He loves his backfield, which has Eddie Lacy, Alex Collins, Chris Carson, Mike Davis, J.D. McKissick. He says it's the best the Seahawks have had in his time here. He's excited, and I think that excitement's going to show itself tonight. Lines moved in this game, opened up with the Raiders as a 1.5-point favorite. It's flipped. Seattle's now 1.5, and I have no disagreement with that.
Well, you know, in the preseason, you know they're not going to go for overtime, so that's not going to happen. So we have to concert. You know, 3s are not really a magical number in the preseason because of that.
Ones and twos are actually
ones and twos are very dangerous numbers.
Yep.
But I don't see Oakland showing up here. It's actually, David, I hate to tell you this if you haven't made a bet yet, it's actually up to 2.5.
Oh, is it right? That's just in the last few minutes.
Everywhere in the last, from the time we started this podcast to now. It moved everywhere to 2.5, -11, -15. It's definitely 2.5.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically money-wise, it's 3, but you can lay 2.5 -15 or -11.
I just punched up my Don Best screen, and there it is.
Yep.
Win is the only 2 that I'm seeing, and that probably won't be there much longer.
Yeah, it could be a slow update too.
Yeah.
So, this isn't Oakland. You got to remember something else. I mean, Oakland isn't going to be in Oakland very much longer because they're coming here to Vegas.
Yep.
So they're not going to get the kind of fan support that they used to get. I think, matter of fact, there's going to probably be a lot of backlash against that. It happened with the Rams a couple years ago. So they're home field. And you got to remember something else about Oakland. I know everybody's talking about Oakland making it the Super Bowl. And
not with that defense.
It's not going to happen.
It's not with that defense. They're not.
No, I bet under on Oakland in the win column, or how many wins they get. They got a tough division. They got some teams in their division that can beat them.
Well,
and
including I think
terrible.
What might be one of the most underrated teams in the league, and that's I almost said San Diego. That's the LA Chargers. Now I don't. Look, their home field. I don't know what their home field advantage is going to be like because they're playing in a little soccer stadium. But I can tell you this: the Chargers. If you go back to last season, this is why you need to take notes or at least have a good memory. How many games did the Chargers lose in the fourth quarter last year? It was unbelievable. They had like 6 or 7 games that they let get away late, and all they have to do is turn around a couple of those games. They're going to be a team that has I think, a winning record and a chance to make the playoffs. I think the Chargers could be the most underrated team in the league right now because, everybody's looking at the record from last year, but they're not really looking at the record from last year. That was a kind of a fluky win-loss record for them. And the Raiders, at the same time, if you look at points for and points against, they were lucky to have as many wins as they did. I think that's going to be a really competitive division. I agree with you completely on that, Jim.
The Oakland is one of the most overrated teams in football right now. They got too much ink. They're not going to have home field advantage like they once did because they're moving, they're leaving. So that's a betrayal to their fans. I agree with you about the Chargers. The one problem with the Chargers, and it goes back to the Marty Schottenheimer days when he was 14-2 and they fired him. I mean, since then it's been like a curse. They have terrible coaching, terrible ownership. Terrible everything, but they had a good team with good talent. And at one time, they might have been the best team in football, but they could never manifest it because of all those other negatives. But they have a great quarterback. It's definitely.
Oh boy.
I mean, they have. I mean, if that guy was on a different team with better coaching,
yeah,
you might have seen multiple Super Bowl wins. He's fantastic, but. They're displaced now. They got a lot of those players have to, commute from San Diego to LA to play and practice. I mean, it's a mess. So I'm not really. This isn't really about the Chargers, but it's really about Oakland, and I think Oakland's going to have their problems this year. I think they're more than an 8-8 team at the most.
Yeah, I'd have to go along with that. Once again, we've got some really good stuff available right now. I'm coming off of look, I'm on a really good run right now. That's the only way to describe it. The baseball's also been good this week. I went 3-0 on Tuesday, had only one game yesterday, and that was the Twins runs line, which, 11-1 doesn't get much easier than that. The football's been fantastic. Only one loss with everything I played last week, so that turned out to be 6-0 with the middle of the NFL, the CFL winner. That's a gigantic week, and I'm ready to do it again. Starting with 2 games in the NFL tonight, $25 at jimfeist.com. Use the promo code Dave50 and get it for half price. Call into the room. John will have the number on the screen for you to call in and get on board for my football season at a great price right now. I mean, I'm about as geared up as it gets. I have a free play tonight, which you can get on the Ohio State-Indiana game. Just call in and you'll get that. Or I think it's on the website as well. And, I'm excited. And Jim, you got big stuff going tonight, and I know how geared up you are for the football season.
I am totally geared up. I mean, I'm loving the college lines that are out there, the college matchups. The whole season is, laying out in front of us all, and we're all excited. And we always come into the season with full optimism, but I've been doing this 47 years, guys, and most of those years, like 95% of those years, have turned out to be very profitable. And I'm looking at some really good plays in college. I got some matchups in the preseason, the final preseason, which is today, that I'm really excited about. We talked about some of the things, the injuries and stuff. I have a 3-pack of NFL plays and an AL East total of the month going. This is jimfeist.com. I also have available Saturday plays, including a college football shocker of the month, $25 at jimfeist.com. But you can get 50% off on that by typing in Jim50. So you can get him $12.50. How can you not do that? And Dave has the same situation when you buy his stuff. He has a promo code Dave50 where you can get half off his price as well. So if you want to win, I suggest you go to the site, buy some of these picks. You're not going to be sorry. We're going to do a good job for you. And at the end of the season, I'm absolutely certain both of us are going to show a big profit.
And by the way, we've got free plays every day. If you want those, call the toll-free number. They're on tape, so you're not going to actually be speaking to anybody. You just call the number, and the free plays there at 888-294-1970. And, Jim, you can get the plays via text to your cell phone as well.
Yeah, but I have to say something, Dave. I don't know. You actually gave our age away when you said tape. Everything is digital these days, right?
Yeah,
but it's funny. I say the same thing, and everybody looks at me and says, "What are you talking about, tape?" There is no tape.
Yeah, but notice one thing: neither one of us said San Diego Chargers.
But we almost did.
Well, almost doesn't count. No.
Yeah, but that's going to take a long time to change. Just like the St. Louis Rams and now the LA Rams, they move around. But free plays, right to your cell phone. Just text GAME, GAME, to 64600.
And don't forget to check out the free fast facts that are available every day at jimfeist.com. Great information, doesn't cost you anything, and it's good for anybody who's making numbers on these games, which is really should be the starting point for all your handicapping every day. That's going to do it. Jim, I don't know. When are we back with the next one of these?
Well, I think we're going to start doing them every day, and I'm not sure, but I'll let you know. Maybe one a day or three a week or something like that. But then we're back in the studio,
right,
on the 6th of September, and then we know that, and then we do the daily. We're going to do daily podcasts, whether they're audio or video or both, and then we're going to do the studio once a week. So, and then the information is going to be online each and every day.
It's a good deal. So hopefully we'll have all you guys on a regular basis. Jim, I'll talk to you later. And thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate it. And have yourselves a great Thursday.